Hello everyone, and welcome to Cub Scouts Roundtable. I am Vinny Close, Assistant Council Commissioner for Roundtable Program and Support for Great Trail Council, and we are happy that you've joined us tonight. We have a lot of information to share with you over the next hour, so let's start like we always do with the Pledge of Allegiance, the Scout Oath, and the Scout Law. And here to present that for us tonight are Cub Scouts from Pack 3520 in Hinckley.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to guide my country, to obey the Scout Law, to help with other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and irreverent.
All right, thanks guys. And if you have some scouts in your unit who would like to lead us in the pledge, oath, and law, let us know in the chat and we'll contact you after the broadcast to make arrangements. We want to welcome those of you that have joined us online. We're happy that you've joined us. Whether you're watching live or you're watching this later, help us track attendance. Share your unit number and city in the chat. And if you have any questions during the broadcast, let us know and we'll get them answered either in the chat or live on air. Now, if you have questions about something you've seen during Roundtable, whether it's this episode or a previous one, or you just have a scouting question and you don't know who to ask, let us know. We have a very simple form we've created that goes directly to me to get your question or problem answered. You can see the address to get to that form below, right there on screen, and we may even use your question in a future episode. It's time now for our safety moment, and for this month, it's all about insurance. This month's safety moment comes to us, it's a request for this information from the leaders of Pack 3513 in Brunswick, who asked us for this info, and we're happy to provide it to them. So, thank you for asking. Now, have you ever been told that your insurance is dependent on wearing your field uniform, which is a myth, by the way? That's not true. You don't need to wear your uniform when you're traveling in order to be covered by insurance. Well, get ready because we're going to talk about what types of insurance coverage are available and where to find more information on coverage for scouts, registered volunteer scouters, and chartered organizations that are involved in official scouting activities. First one that you see on that slide is our comprehensive general liability insurance. Now, this type of policy responds to allegations or claims from a third party that they suffered personal injury or property damage due to negligent action. Now, the coverage is limited to official scouting activities, and those activities must be consistent with the values, charter and bylaws, rules and regulations, operation manuals, and applicable literature of Scouting America. Local councils, chartered organizations, and registered volunteers are provided with primary coverage, meaning that's what gets covered first. Scouting youth, anybody age 17 and younger, are not insured under this policy. Now, this insurance provided to unregistered volunteers through the General Liability Insurance Program is excess over any other insurance the volunteer might have to his or her benefit. So the TLDR version is all of us that are registered adults, this liability insurance is our primary. If you're an unregistered volunteer, it's considered secondary and covers anything that your insurance would not. Next type of insurance is accident and sickness. Now, this insurance provides medical coverage to scouting participants on an excess basis for injuries or fatalities, hopefully they won't have any of those, that arise out of an official activity. So again, this is not primary. This is going to be after your insurance covers anything. So for example, if a youth falls during a hike and breaks their wrist, the parent's health insurance may pay for the ER visit minus, let's say, a $500 deductible. This insurance from the scouting can reimburse that $500. Next is automobile liability insurance. Now, the coverage is provided above the vehicle owner's insurance plus any automotive liability insurance that is provided by your local council. And you'll need to check with your council to see if there's any of that sort of coverage. Vehicles must be covered at the minimum amount required by the state for automobile liability. And it is recommended that coverage limits are at least $100,000 combined single limit. Vehicles that carry 10 or more passengers should have at least $1 million in coverage. And it's important to note that the use of 15-passenger vans manufactured before 2005 are prohibited. So if you have one of those old 15-passenger vans, if it's more than 20 years old, you can't use it for scouting activities to be covered under the insurance. Now, for more information on insurance coverage, check out the Guide to Safe Scouting. The address is there at the bottom of the screen on the slide that's up on for you. All right. Again, thank you to PAC 3513 for asking for us to do that safety moment for us. Up next is our membership moment, and we're going to talk about the Scouting America Brand Center, which is a great resource for units at all levels for getting all of the marketing materials you need to help you with your unit's recruiting and membership needs. We hear all the time and see all the time on social media where leaders are asking, where can they get clip art, videos, flyers, anything like that for their unit to use? Well, the answer is, it's all for your use in the Brand Center. For more than 100 years, scouting has been a symbol of adventure, excitement, and achievement. Scouting provides once-in-a-lifetime experiences that prepares the next generation for a lifetime of opportunity. It is a serious business that couldn't be more fun. The national marketing team has created themes, design content, and marketing material to help you recruit scouts and adults into your unit. Take advantage of it. Head on over to the Scouting America Brand Center to find a multitude of resources to assist you in the sharing of the scouting story. Now here's what you'll find. The main one is the marketing library. This is where you will find scouting logos, insignia, photos, and social media content to use for promoting your scouting events and activities. When it comes to marketing your unit, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Feel free to use pictures from the marketing library or add your own pictures, as long as you follow youth protection guidelines. Now, recently added in the last few weeks are template posters, where you can insert your own photos into posters and flyers that you can then print for distribution instead of having to use the stock photos that they provided. Everybody always would like to use your own kids in your flyers. This is an opportunity to do that. Next are branding guidelines. The Brand Identity Guide contains all the tools that you need to craft messages and materials that resonate with today's families while keeping true to the Scouting America brand, making sure that you're using the logos correctly, that you're using the right color schemes, those sorts of things. The Membership and Marketing Hub. Membership and marketing go hand in hand. Here you will find instructional guides on how to host join nights, along with many other helpful best practices and how-to guides. This is where you can find the latest marketing and membership webinars, which include great recruitment ideas to use. Now, these webinars are live about once a month, and you can subscribe to find out when the next one comes up, which is usually held on a Sunday night to make it a little easier for everybody to attend. Custom videos. These can be used for social media, commercials, informational meetings, and during presentations. We use them all the time in our broadcast here. The video that you saw up at the beginning, that was one of those promotional videos from the Brand Center. They are the perfect addition to any membership and marketing campaign, even at the unit level. And finally, testimonials. Testimonials can be incredibly powerful. Check them out on the Marketing and Membership Hub and use them to help people understand why they should join scouting. Okay, Time now for our first of two hot topics for tonight, and we're going to take a look at den chiefs and denners. Hopefully your pack and dens are using these great resources. We have a video from the National Council to help explain what they are and why you should be using them in your packs and dens. Here to present the video is Anthony Berger, the National Director of Cub Scouting.
I had the great honor and privilege to be elected president of my fraternity when I was in college. It was at this time I reflected on what made me so different from many of my peers, and it took me all the way back to when I was a Cub Scout. Welcome to Roundtable as we discuss den chiefs and denners and the opportunities they give the youth we seek to serve. As I thought about what type of leader I wanted and needed to be, I looked back on what had prepared me for this, and it was clear that scouting was the single largest influence. I had so many leadership opportunities in scouting that it made me think, how long have I had those opportunities, and when did it really begin? And it all started when I was 8 years old, and I was a Cub Scout, and my mom was our den leader. We were having elections for dinner, and I didn't win. Now, my reaction was less than scout-like, as I stormed off and went to my room and missed the rest of the meeting. It was a vivid memory, but not one of loss or sorrow. After the meeting, my mom talked to me, and she shared with me that you may not always be in charge, but that doesn't make you a leader. A true leader doesn't need a title or position to be a leader. That lesson didn't sink in right away, but it did eventually. Eventually, I did become the denner and remember wearing that yellow cord with pride. I share that story to demonstrate that in Cub Scouting, we are building a foundation for leadership, and our expectations of our Cub Scouts is the experience and to do their best. Using the den chief and denner positions in Cub Scouting is just one more opportunity for youth to gain lifelong lessons. Let us start off with this first opportunity, the denner. The denner position starts in second grade with wolves. Lions and tigers are not developmentally ready for this type of position, and we want to set up our Cub Scouts for success. So how does your den choose the denner, and for how long is really up to you. The key is to be consistent and have a plan before you begin. Our plan should allow for everyone to have a chance to have the position. One suggestion is to simply change denners alphabetically each month. If you have a large den, have a denner and an assistant denner, so everyone has a chance to be at least one of those two positions. Having an assistant denner is just one more opportunity for your Cub Scouts to experience being a denner. So what does a denner and assistant denner do? Well, what these positions do should be age appropriate and simple tasks that they assist with during the den meeting. And yes, they will need reminding. Think of the position as a class helper, where if there's a task that a Cub Scout can do to help out, the denner is automatically the one who gets to do it. For example, denners or assistant denners could be the ones who hold the flags during the opening and closing flag ceremony. They could be the ones that help distribute program supplies during the den meeting, or help to set up a game or craft. They may lead the opening or closing flag ceremony. The key is to keep the tasks simple and easy and have a designated go-to Cub Scout to help out. Denners are presented with a special yellow leadership cord that goes over their left shoulder. 2 cords indicate the denner, and 1 cord indicates an assistant denner. The den should have just one set of these cords, and the cords are passed on from one denner to the next. A denner only wears the cords when they are actively serving in that position. Now, keep in mind, the denner position is not a leadership position or a position of responsibility. It is a position that gives Cub Scouts the opportunity to assist the den leader. The den chief is a youth who is in Scouts BSA, Venturing, or Sea Scouts. A den chief assists the den leader during den meetings and activities. Troops, crews, and ships give careful consideration when identifying and allowing a youth to serve as a den chief. The position is a youth leadership opportunity for their respective programs. Den leaders can ask for a different den chief if the scout is not working out. And the role of the den chief is designed to be an extra set of eyes, ears, and hands for conducting den meetings and activities. Den chiefs may come early and help set up the meeting place and stay after to help clean up. During the meeting, they may lead games or help teach a skill. A den chief is not a leadership position in Cub Scouting, so they do not count as an extra leader. When you have a den chief for your den, be clear in your expectations and communicate regularly with them. At all times, when communicating with them, include their adult leader as part of the communication. There is a special den chief training that is available online at my.scouting, and it should be taken by both the den chief and the den leader who will have the den chief. Your local council may also have this training as an in-person option too. The denner and den chief, when implemented in your den, not only makes it easier to deliver the program, it also gives youth more experiences that help them prepare for life. Now, it's your turn. Discuss with your fellow leaders these questions. If your den doesn't use denners or den chiefs, what are your thoughts on starting to use these positions? If you have denners and or den chiefs, how do you use them in your den? What did you learn in this roundtable that you will bring back to your pack or den? That's it for this roundtable. I look forward to seeing you at the next roundtable.
All right, thank you, Anthony. We want to take a minute here to provide you with some information and resources from our Women's Advisory Committee that is led by Assistant Council Commissioner Becky Voris. Now, the committee provides mentorship, resources, and development opportunities to ensure that our female scouts, whether they're Cub Scouts, Scouts BSA, venturing, whatever, that they have the tools, confidence, and support that they need to thrive in their scouting journey. Now, while the committee works a lot with our Scouts BSA troops, there are resources available to our Cub Scout packs and the female Cub Scouts and leaders in those packs. So I asked Becky, give us some information. Tell me what are some ways that the Women's Advisory Committee can help packs. And so this is what they have here on this slide. And the first is a very important one, and that is the Women's Advisory Committee can help Arrow of Light dens connect with nearby female Scouts BSA troops in their area. We hear it all the time from packs. The girls are getting ready to earn their Arrow of Light and cross over, and they have no idea whether a troop even exists in their area or where they're located. The Women's Advisory Committee can most definitely help with that. Some other things that they can do is they can assist female leaders with a smooth transition from leading within a pack to leading within a troop. It is a big difference, and they can help with that transition. They have some helpful resources on their webpage that would be useful for scouts of any age, whether that's camping, hygiene, dealing with being a 12-year-old girl in a scout camp, any of that stuff. Trainings and events will be advertised on their webpage that female leaders will find beneficial. And finally, they can help with assistance in starting up an all-girl den in a pack. So if your pack is doing the family dens where you have multi-level dens together and you wanted to do one that's all girls, say you only have one or two in a specific program level, they can help you with getting those all-girl dens set up. So if you want more information, you can see the address there at the bottom of the screen, gtcscouting.org/WAC for more information on this great committee. All right, let's now go to our second topic, and we're taking a look at working with small dens and packs. Now, while it would be great for all of our packs to be bulging at the seams with members, that would be great, wouldn't it? We know that some dens and packs can be on the small side, and that's okay. We have a video with some tips and tricks to help those small dens and packs to thrive the same as the larger units. Our old friend Anthony Berger is back with this video presentation.
I often tell the story of how I was involved in starting a pack for my son. I was very excited. We were able to do a formal recruitment event at the elementary school, and I was looking so forward to having 40 or 50 families show up. It didn't turn out that way. Welcome to Roundtable as we discuss working with small dens and packs. My first recruitment event as Cub Master, I believe we had about 12 families come out and only 10 signed up that night. I was more than disappointed. There I was with 10 applications and no leaders. What was I going to do? I thought back to a storybook that I used to read to my kids, which had the line, Be grateful for the things that you have, not upset about the things you don't. This is the number one thing to think about when working with small dens or packs. A great program is not about how many families are in your pack. A small pack or den can be fun. Focus on having fun with your family and the families that did join, and eventually others will want to join. I moved forward with a fun first pack meeting. I called the volunteer fire department and asked if they would come to our meeting with a fire truck so our Cub Scouts can learn about what they do. That was the meeting plan. I made it a point to personally call each family, remind them of the meeting, and to field any questions that they may have had. At this meeting, while the firefighters were doing all the work, I was able to spend time with each of the parents to get to know them. I learned the dynamics of each of the families. I met one dad who was the captain in the U.S. Army, and I had a feeling I had just found a new friend, but more importantly, a new pack committee chair. This leads me to the second point. Don't do it alone. In the beginning, I was doing it all. I arranged the recruitment event. I made all the reminder phone calls. I processed all the applications and took them to the office. I called the fire department and I signed us up for popcorn fundraising. But I knew I couldn't continue doing everything myself because I wasn't doing a good job at any of it. At times, it is hard to delegate. In small packs and dens especially, we may feel like someone else can't do it as well as us, or that it's just easier to do it ourselves than to ask someone else. But here's a tip from the experts. If you had all the time in the world, you could run a small pack or den alone. But the reality is you don't have all the time in the world. If you're doing everything by yourself, everything suffers because you don't have the time to give each task 100% of your focus. You end up doing a lot of things at only 40%, and some things you just can't get to at all. In this case, what's better? A task's never getting done because you don't have the time, or delegating it to someone who does have the time to spend on it? Now, back to the newly born small pack in a rural town, where I met a dad I thought would be a great committee chair. We set a time for us to meet without distractions. He told me that he was committed to do whatever it took to get his son a Cub Scout experience. Wow, I didn't need to hear any more. I pulled out a position description for a pack committee chair. We reviewed it together, and just like that, we had twice the number of volunteer leaders in the pack. And in 2 weeks, we had a treasurer and a secretary. I continued to plan fun and simple weekly meetings for all of our Cub Scouts focused on games, crafts, guest speakers. For a small pack with only 10 Cub Scouts, we now had 4 registered adult leaders. This brings me to a third point. With a small pack or den, it is easier to establish personal relationships with each family. It also makes it easier to coordinate events and activities. This goes back to don't confuse quality with quantity. So, what was our next step? It would be easy to say that we just have 10 families. We don't need to have pack committee meetings. We can just wing it. The fourth point of working with small packs and dens is commonly overlooked and keeps the pack and den from growing. Build a foundation for growth. With just our group of 4 adults as a committee, we didn't say that was enough. We pressed on. Our first step was to set up our monthly committee meetings. And instead of calling them committee meetings, we called them parent meetings and set meeting reminders to all parents. Now, we didn't get everyone at every meeting, but we got the majority, and again, we focused on who was there instead of focused on who wasn't there. We did all the things you would have done for 40 or 50 families in a pack. We had a budget for our program. We planned for a Pinewood Derby and Blue and Gold. We planned to attend the Council's Cub Family Campout. We only had 4 families attend, but hey, we all had a great time. What would we do about Pinewood Derby? We didn't have the money for a track, and there wasn't a pack nearby to borrow one from. We presented this dilemma at our monthly parents meeting. And to our surprise, a dad who always came, but was always quiet, never really participating, spoke up and said, well, if you have plans for one, I can build it. This is an example of how we operated our small pack. We faced challenges together. Just because I was Cub Master didn't mean I had all the answers or had to do all the problem solving. We also didn't solve every problem we were facing. We just worked around them together. Since everyone knew the challenges, we didn't have parents complaining that leaders weren't doing enough. So far, you're probably thinking that this small rural town must just be under the rainbow where unicorns and elves live. Well, let me share with you some of the real challenges we faced that first year. That perfect committee chair who was willing to do anything to provide Cub Scouting program to the son, guess who got promoted in 4 months and relocated? Our meeting location was a real issue. We didn't have full access, and for every PAC meeting, it was a traveling roadshow, loading my car with flags and program supplies and awards for every meeting. Resources from the charter partner were just not available. They wanted to help, but they didn't have the resources to do so. Over 3 years, we lost our charter partner twice. This brings us to the fifth and final point of working with small packs and dens. To paraphrase President Calvin Coolidge, nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, "Press on," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. So in short, be persistent. You're not going to get everything right, but keep at it. In this case, the small little pack didn't stay small for long. The following year, we went from 10 to 25. The following year, we jumped to almost 40. And shortly after that, Troop 47 was reborn, and the community once again had a pack and troop for their families to join. Here are 5 points to keep in mind when working with small dens and packs. Number 1, focus on fun and those who are in your pack and den. Number 2, don't do it alone. Just one more person to help out can make all the difference. 3, take advantage of your size and build strong relationships with the families in your den and pack. 4th, you are small now, but build a strong foundation so your pack or den can handle growth in the future with a strong pack community. And lastly, and probably just as important, is be persistent. Keep at it. Stay focused. Quality programs that are fun for Cub Scouts and parents always grow. Now it is your turn. Consider this question for conversation with your fellow leaders. Which of the 5 points did you find to be helpful and why? All right, that's it for this roundtable. I hope you found it useful. We'll see you next time.
All right, thank you, Anthony. Now, before we go to upcoming events, we want to take a minute to cover the Adventure Fee t-shirts that are available to Cub Scouts and their packs. Now, as part of the Adventure Fee, Cub Scouts will receive a pack t-shirt by rank. Now, the accompanying slide that we have here explains the procedure on how to order and receive those t-shirts. So let's take a look at that slide. So the window to place your order opened yesterday, November 5th, and all orders are due by November 14th. Now, if your pack didn't order t-shirts the first time, you can now order one for each youth member of your pack that is on your roster as of November 1st. Now, if you're a pack that did order shirts the first time, you can order t-shirts for everyone who joined between May 1st and October 31st. Now, emails went to Cub Masters and committee chairs on October 29th with all of the details. And the shirts will be ready to ship the first week of December. Now, if you've got any questions about this, if you're a committee chair or a Cub Master and you didn't get an email, feel free to reach out to your unit or district commissioner for assistance. Okay, let's now take a look at upcoming events. We've got a lot of events coming up, and we want to make sure that you've got them all on your calendar so that you can be aware of what is coming up. So let's take a look at that slide as soon as it gets loaded here. There we go. All right, first up is Cub Adventure Day, Cub Fest 2025. It is next Saturday, November 15th from 10 to 2, and it's going to be simultaneously held at both Camps Butler and Stambaugh. It is free for Cub Scouts and their families. Cub Scouts that are new to scouting this year, they will have received a golden ticket so that they know that this is a special event just for them. You can bring a friend to this event, a non-scout, for only $5 per person, and that's basically to cover the insurance costs. So the activities are going to be going on. It's going to be kind of some of the same stuff that you might experience when you're at day camp. So there will be a make and take activity. There'll be a snack activity. Weather permitting, they're going to do hikes. Weather permitting, they're also planning on doing range and target activities. So this would be like BB guns, archery, wrist rockets. A lot of it is weather dependent, but there's going to be a lot of fun. Come on out for the day. It's free. Go on the website and sign up, just so they have an idea of how many are going to be coming to this. Up next is the International Peace Light is coming to Great Trail Council on Saturday, December 6th, and there's going to be a ceremony beginning at 10:30 in the morning here at the Great Trail Scout Shop here in Stowe, right on the other side of the wall from where we're standing. Now, the way this works is this is a flame that originates from Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus, and this flame is shared throughout the world, and it is maintained by scouts from all over the world. There are literally tens of thousands of scouts that maintain and share this flame throughout the world. You can come to the scout shop at 10:30 for the ceremony. They will have candles available for you to take home the flame for yourself. If you want to bring a small container to keep it going, or you can blow it out and then relight it once you get home. The flame is going to be available at the scout shop through December 20th. Up next, if you are in Crooked River District, there is a bowling event that's going to be held in the district. This is going to be on December 13th from noon to 2 p.m. at Kent Lanes in Kent. It's $15 a person, and that includes 2 hours of bowling plus pizza and a drink. So again, if you are a member of Crooked River District, any program level, Cub Scouts, Scouts BSA, whatever, head on out to Kent Lanes on the 13th for some bowling fun. Up next on January 31st are the Cub Scout Chariot Races. This is again on January 31st from 9 to 1 at Higher Middle School in Akron. The cost for this event is $30 per pack. Now, a pack can enter as many chariots and as many teams as they would like. The way that this works, and we've got a video that we're going to show of it in a second here, you're going to basically construct a chariot out of a cardboard box, so think like a big appliance box, a refrigerator box, something like that. You're going to decorate it. You may do it themed. You're going to see in the video in a second where some of these teams of scouts, they will decorate the box and then they will dress to match the theme of the box. You're going to see a Top Gun theme in the video in a second here. And you're basically going to race it against other scouts across the gym floor. And to register for this, you'll need to do it by January 24th. We're going to take a look at that video right now real quick. And so this is from last year. Here it is. They're in the gym. They do a little parade of all the participants. They come in, and you can see they have the course laid out with the cones. And here they are pulling these cardboard boxes. Here's a shot of a GoPro from inside the box to kind of get the view of the racer. You can see the racers they're wearing helmets because we don't want to trip and fall and hurt ourselves. And you're going to race through the course, and it's all timed and lots of fun, and they do some different activities. There's some of the shapes and designs. You can see the one there that looks like a airplane, and then you can see they all dressed in flight suits to look like they're from Top Gun. And it's just a whole lot of fun to do this race. So again, January 31st from 9 to 1 at Higher Middle School in Akron. Lastly, save the date for the Cub Scout Freeze-Outs. This is a free event, part of the adventure fee, and you can choose the one that is best for your unit in your district. So Soaring Eagle District is doing their freeze-out on January 31st, excuse me. They're doing 2 separate sessions, so you can pick either the morning or the afternoon session, either 8:30 to 11 or 12:30 to 3:30, and that is at Camp Manitowoc. Stambaugh District is also doing theirs on January 31st, and they are also doing 2 separate sessions. First one is 8:30 to 12:15, and the afternoon session is from 1 to 4:15, and that is out at Camp Stambaugh. The following week, on February 7th, Canal District is doing their event from 8:30 to 1 at Camp Butler. And on the other side of the lake, Crooked River District is doing theirs, also on February 7th, from 1 to 5 at Camp Manitowoc. Now the freeze out, the way that this works, it's a big outdoor winter activity. Some of the activities are going to be weather dependent, but if they can do them, it's great. So if there's going to be snow on the ground, you'll be able to do some sledding and some maybe even a snowball fight or something if you wanted to partake in that, or make a snow fort. There will be some make and take crafts that you can do. There will be some scout skills that they'll be working on. So we'll be talking about winter first aid, some ways to prevent and treat frostbite and hypothermia. Do some other skills relating to the outdoors, maybe some knot tying, have some races and things like that. So even a snack will be involved. So lots of fun. Again, some of it is weather dependent, like if we don't have snow, it's going to be hard to do sled racing or sled riding, but as long as there's snow, which there was last year, it is a really great time for the Cubs. And again, it's all free. All right, we have a few reminders and updates next for the membership and unit renewal process, including updates that have occurred since our last Cub Roundtable broadcast in September. So we want to make sure that we cover those. Let's look at that slide to share with you the details on what to expect. And we do want to point out that in terms of payments, you can still pay by credit card. Just remember that there is a 3% processing fee if you pay by that method. Now, payment by ACH is no longer permitted, as there were too many issues when you tried to pay by that method. But there is an e-check option available, and if you choose that option, there are no processing fees. Now, the new item is that there is also now a new option to pay for membership renewals. Scouting America has partnered with Klarna to split your payments into installments if you would like. Now, this came about after feedback from families who were asking for a way to make those payments in installments. Now, there are numerous options available for the installments, many of which are interest-free. Now, the option for this payment method will appear at the time of membership renewal. I just renewed my membership a couple of days ago, and I did see that as one of the choices when I went to make my payment for my membership renewal. Important things to remember on this slide. First is the adventure fee for membership renewal is now paid at the time of membership renewal, not to the unit. And it's important, again, to emphasize to everybody, there are registration and adventure fee financial assistance available. So this is whether it's the membership fee, adventure fee, even events like Cub Day Camp or Overnight Camp, there is financial assistance available, and your unit and district commissioner can help facilitate that for you. Now, the unit renewal has improved for this year. It is much easier. The unit renewal window opened on November 1st. We want to point out to the units that if you have not renewed your unit by December 12th, there will be a $125 late fee. So make sure that you get your unit renewal turned in before December 12th. And we also want to remind you, if any of your members hold multiple positions or registrations, they must renew their membership themselves to retain all of their multiple positions or registrations. I know a lot of you units pay for your adults, but if they hold multiple registrations and you make the payment for them, those multiples are not going to get re-registered, and then it becomes a paperwork mess to clean up. And finally, traditionally chartered units, meaning you are still chartered to a traditional chartered organization and you are not council chartered, you are not going to have any paperwork to turn in. It's going to be a 5-minute job on the website to review your roster, submit your payment, and you're done. Your district exec is going to handle meeting with your institutional head, whether that's the pastor of your church, the head of the VFW, whatever it happens to be. They will handle getting the charter agreement signed. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Now, support is available. You can contact your unit commissioner, your district commissioner, or your district executive if you need any help with the renewal process, or you have members needing more financial assistance than your unit might be able to provide. What we are asking is don't contact our council registrar directly. Jody's going to be busy enough as it is. Let's filter that through the commissioner corps and let them be the liaison to our registrar. And if you have any questions or you need any assistance, there is videos and help on this. You can see the address at the bottom of the screen there, gtcscouting.org/renew. And everything you want to know about the renewal process is there. All right, up next, we want to share with you the calendar of upcoming training to make sure that you have them on your unit calendars to save the date. Remember, every scout deserves a trained leader. So let's go to that slide. First up is this weekend, the University of Scouting and the College of Commissioner Science. This is on here just to remind everybody, registration is closed. This year there are no walk-ups permitted. Now, Walsh Jesuit is going to be administering the SAT test to high school students on Saturday. So to make sure that the only people in the building are people that are supposed to be there, they are going to be checking photo IDs and the registration list at the door when you arrive. So you might want to arrive a couple of minutes early. It's not a TSA check or anything, but you are going to have to present your photo ID and make sure that you show up on the roster. On January 10th, we have Cub Scout Rangemaster training. That's going to be from 9 to 5. It's going to be offered at both Camps Manitowoc and Stambaugh. This is free. As you can see, it's also going to be offered on February 21st and March 18th. We are always in need of more rangemasters to cover all of the Cub Scout range and target activities that we offer throughout the spring, summer, and fall. We need at least 6 rangemasters for every session. The more we have, then we don't have to have as many doing it multiple times. We talked earlier tonight about the need for den chiefs in your dens, and there is den chief training. This is in-person den chief training on March 7th from 8:30 to noon at the Lewis Conference Center at Camp Manitowoc. That's behind the dining hall. For those of you unfamiliar with the Lewis Conference Center, that's where that's located. And this is a free training as part of the adventure fee. So if you've got den chiefs and they are not trained and they would like to do the in-person as opposed to the online, here's an opportunity to do that. Finally, we have BALOO training coming up. BALOO stands for Basic Adult Leader Outdoor Orientation. This is an overnight training event, April 25th and 6th at Camp Manitowoc. It's a free training, but again, we want to remind everybody this is an overnight training event. You will be camping at Camp Manitowoc overnight. And it's important to note that on every Cub campout, you must have at least one BALOO trained adult in attendance for the entire session. And it's important to have more than one because if you only have one person that's BALOO trained and for some reason something happens and that person needs to leave camp and now you don't have any, you have no choice but to end the camp out at that time. So it's always a good idea to have multiple people that are BALOO trained. That way you're covered in the event of situations like that. To register for any of those training events as well as the other events that are coming up, you can see the address at the bottom of the screen there, gtcscouting.org/calendar-events. All right, well that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank everyone for watching, and everyone who helped behind the scenes. We're now alternating our roundtables between Scouts BSA and Cub Scouts each month. So that means that our next Cub Roundtable will be on Thursday, January 8th. It's a special date. I'm going to be watching the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day, so I won't be here trying to do a broadcast with you. We'll do it on January 8th. And our next Scouts BSA Roundtable will be on Thursday, December 4th, all right here, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern, here on YouTube Live. I'm going to look over. Did we get any questions or anything on there? I'm shaking your head no, so all right. To close out, we have a video from the National Council that shows Scouts in action across all our program levels. Feel free to share this with prospective families to let them see some of the fun activities that they can do in Scouting. Thank you for all you do for Scouting. We'll see you on the trail. Good night, everyone.
I'm feeling real good 'cause today is a good day. I got a big surprise and I'm gonna send it your way. It's a wonderful time, everybody, let's celebrate. Get down. I'm feeling real good 'cause today is a good day.
Thank you for all your hard work and dedication in supporting the Boy Scouts of America.
Woo! Yeah! Thanks for helping venturers like me. Hi, Mom.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Feeling real good 'cause today is a good day. I got a big surprise and I'm gonna send it your way. It's a wonderful time, everybody, let's celebrate. I'm feeling real good 'cause today is a good day. Come on. I'm feeling real good. Yeah, I said I'm feeling right. I'm feeling real good. That's right. I'm feeling real good. Hey, yo, I'm feeling right. I'm feeling real good.
I told you.
I'm feeling real good 'cause today is a good day. I got a big surprise and I'm gonna send it your way. It's a wonderful time, everybody, let's celebrate. I'm feeling real good 'cause today is a good day.